I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you. Somebody say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. The wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country.
US President Donald Trump has sent shockwaves across the globe, and especially across Africa, after announcing that he does not want Somali immigrants living in the United States, telling reporters that the community should go back to where they came from, and that their home country was, in his view, no good for a reason. The comments exploded across American media within minutes, sparking outrage, disbelief, and a new round of questions about what exactly the president is trying to achieve with his latest immigration crusade. And honestly, for many Africans watching this drama unfold from afar, the real reaction is, why does this man wake up every morning ready to pick a fight with an entire continent? Here's everything President Trump said about Somalians in a long televised cabinet meeting on Tuesday, December 2, 2025.
Somalians ripped off that state for billions of dollars, billions, every year, billions of dollars, and they contribute nothing. The welfare is like 88%. They contribute nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you. Okay? Somebody say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Their country's no good for a reason. Their country stinks, and we don't want them in our country. I can say that about other countries, too. I can say it about other countries, too. We don't want them to hell. We have to rebuild our country. You know, our country's at a tipping point. We could go bad. We're at a tipping point. I don't know if people mind me saying that, but I'm saying it. We could go one way or the other, and we're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country. Ilan Omar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage. These aren't people that work. These aren't people that say, let's go, come on, let's make this place great. These are people that do nothing but complain. They complain. And from where they came from, they got nothing. You know, they came from paradise, and they said, this isn't paradise. But when they come from hell, and they complain, and do nothing but bitch, we don't want them in our country. Let them go back to where they came from and fix it.
These remarks landed at the exact moment when US Immigration and Customs Enforcement was reported to be planning a targeted enforcement operation in Minnesota's Somali community, the largest Somali population in America. In the twin cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul, where over 80,000 Somali natives and descendants now live, leaders quickly condemned the planned sweep, warning that such an operation could easily snag US citizens simply because they look Somali. Local politicians blasted the comments, with Minnesota's governor arguing that what the president was doing was little more than political performance, disguised as policy, while state senators reminded Americans that almost the entire Somali community in the region were citizens anyway. On the federal side, Homeland Security insisted that operations were not race-based, but the timing, tone, and messaging made it near impossible for anyone to believe that. Today, there are between 250,000 and 300,000 Somalis living in the United States, including both immigrants and second-generation US-born citizens. Over 80% arrived as refugees after the Somali civil war erupted in 1991, when the collapse of Siad Barre's government plunged the nation into chaos, famine, and one of the world's longest-running conflicts. The US refugee admissions program resettled tens of thousands during the 1990s, with Minnesota emerging as a major destination due to affordable housing, job openings, and the power of established community networks. Over time, many others arrived through family reunification, asylum, or diversity visas, creating one of the most vibrant African diaspora in America. So the question now is, how does a community that literally escaped war, hunger, and state collapse suddenly become the villain in a president's political theater? Despite the stereotypes Trump tried to paint, most Somali Americans are documented. More than 90% entered through legal refugee programs or family reunification, gaining permanent residency or citizenship. Only recently, after the sudden termination of temporary protected status for Somalis, have a few thousand falling into undocumented limbo, a result of shifting political winds rather than illegal entry. And while anti-immigrant rhetoric often paints refugee communities as crime risk, research consistently proves the opposite. Somali refugees commit crimes at rates far below native-born Americans. Yes, there are small pockets of second-generation youth who struggle with poverty, identity, and integration pressures. But community programs have cut youth recidivism dramatically in recent years. So the narrative of Somalis being a destabilizing force simply does not match the evidence. But since when has evidence ever mattered in a heated political season? Back home, Somalia itself remains unstable in ways that help explain why families fled in the first place. Al-Shabaab continues to control large rural areas, launching deadly attacks in Mogadishu and other cities. The African Union's stabilization mission was only recently renewed, and the Somali government has embarked on an ambitious plan to expand its national army to 100,000 troops. Clan tensions, political infighting, famine affecting 5.5 million people, and the displacement of nearly 4 million citizens all paint a picture of a nation still fighting for survival. How can a nation in this condition magically provide safe returns for refugees? How can anyone demand that people go back to a place where bombs still fall and food shortages still claim lives? Trump's aggressive immigration stance appears fueled by a desire to protect toughness ahead of political battles. But the consequences will not stop at Somalis. His crackdown is expanding. Visa fraud investigations, threats to end humanitarian protections, and rhetoric that places entire immigrant communities under suspicion. If Somalis, who are largely documented and statistically non-violent, can be targeted, then who is safe? And what message does this send to Africans who long believed that America was at least a place where refugees can rebuild their lives without being publicly insulted by the president? In the end, Trump's remarks may play well to his base, but they risk poisoning America's long-standing relationship with African nations and communities. They also ignore the undeniable reality. Somali Americans have built businesses, raised families, revitalized neighborhoods, and contributed to American society for decades. As discussions about immigration policy continue, the key question may be how the nation can navigate these complex issues in a way that reflect both its security priorities and its long-standing role as a destination for people seeking stability and opportunity. Your perspective matters. What do you make of Trump's latest targeting of Somali immigrants in America? Share your thoughts and insights in the comment section below. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to the New Africa channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our informative future videos. Stay informed, stay engaged, and thank you for watching.